Hello, friends. How is everybody? I have cat hair in my mouth. What a day this has been. Not a bad day, just a busy day. And yes, I need to clean my studio at some point. No sound? No sound? Do you have sound now? Hang on, it's going to echo for a second. Maybe. I can't hear it anyway because I have headphones plugged in. Yeah, that's Olaf's butt and my super messy room. It's been, okay, good. You can hear me now. It's been a crazy week, you guys. This has been an insane week. So thankfully, I feel like things are starting to get back to normal. We have a little tiny group today, only 5 people. And this is about the time of year when it starts getting hard for people to make it to events. So I fully expect that from here through the end of the year, we'll just kind of, you know, our events will be less and less attended. Okay, so how's everybody doing? I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in... Yeah, the guy is here to blow out our sprinkler system for the winter. And he's back there now, and he usually brings his dog. So that's what Olaf's looking at. He was barking when I very first started broadcasting, and I was like, that's not going to work for me. So I had to lock him in here with me. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, oh, thanks, I can't believe my hair is long enough for this. And then look, that's the end. My hair hasn't been this long in I don't even know how many years, you guys. So long. So long. So if you've never been to one of these events before, basically what... My video just buffered on me. I hope it didn't do that to you guys. Hello, Gretchen. Welcome. So if you've never been to one of these before, basically what happens is I ask you guys for suggestions and help and ideas, and you guys kind of direct me, and I paint what you tell me to paint for the most part, unless I go, I like that idea, but it makes me think of a different idea, and then I go off on my own. So, and then my favorite is when we do these, and it turns into like a real painting, like a whole painting that we end up doing in a video publicly. So like the scarecrow, we did the scarecrow in one of these events, and then the next day I was like, I gotta record that scarecrow. So that was awesome. And no pressure, you guys, but I need that again today. Just kidding. Ooh, Gretchen got the first snow today. Yay. And I'm buffering again. So that's not gonna work out for me today. And my face looks all stupid and frozen. All right. So, okay. So on my canvas here, I have a 12 by 16. This is a Blick canvas. It's not one of my nice Fredericks canvases, because sometimes this just ends up being like a practice type thing. And those are, even though I didn't pay for them, because Frederick sponsors my videos, they're still expensive canvases, and I don't want to use them for practice. So I'm just using a Blick canvas for that. I have everything else here, including next week's painting. I'm excited. Like I said, this has been kind of a rough week. I know we're getting some buffering, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Hopefully it works itself out and that will stop soon. But, yeah, hopefully we don't get kicked out like we did a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, so all week I was like, you know, it's quite possible I'm not going to have another video 2 weeks in a row. So I was really stressed out about that. It was a very stressful week. But then, as it so often happens, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, well, I know exactly what I'm painting. So I recorded that today. So we do have a video for next week. So hello to Natalie and Atra. I'm glad you guys could make it. Yeah. Oh, our last, I guess I don't make you stare at a white canvas. Our last jam session from last week, which seems like it was an eon ago. Man, it was less than a week ago. You guys said that you wanted a haunted house, remember? And so I took a whole bunch of notes. So I did paint a haunted house, but it's very few of these ideas were used, but not because I don't love you guys and love your ideas. It's because I always kind of start with an idea and then it goes off to something else. And that's what happened this week. So, all right, let's start. You guys tell me, what kind of a painting are we going to do today? Are we going to do, you know, like you can tell me, are we going to do a landscape? Be very general. Don't be specific. Don't say, let's paint dolphins jumping through hoops at the circus. You know, let's not paint that anyway, but nothing specific. Are we going to paint a landscape? Are we going to paint a still life? Are we going to do, you know, what kind of a painting are we going to do? Hello, Amy. Welcome. Oh, yeah, Natalie, that's Olaf. He's interested in the guys that are winterizing our sprinkler system. Abstract Halloween. So what does abstract Halloween look like? Give me some more ideas, guys. Let's do something fun and awesome today. I need it. It's been that kind of a week, and I've been looking forward to today all week. Spooky and witches, a still life. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes, a minute or two, because I know there's a little bit of a lag in the time. And in a little while, maybe about 2:45 or so, 2:30, I will show you next week's painting. Abstract portrait, well, maybe not portrait. Bubbling cauldron or witch shoes. Pat's easily tricked. All right, so we want something Halloween-y, huh? All right, let's see. Give me some... Are we doing an underpainting? If so, what kind of color are we going to do? Halloween is the best, isn't it, Natalie? I agree. I don't even know what witch shoes look like. Purple? Oh. Next week's painting actually has a purple underpainting, Stacy. In fact, okay, I'm not going to give it away. Acid green. Hello, Vince. Welcome. Acid green. I like that. Okay. So, all right, let's start with an underpainting and go from there. See what happens. Sounds like the general consensus is Halloween. I have this vivid lime green. Oh, the guys are gone. Let me let Olaf out of the room so he doesn't irritate me, because he's really good at irritating me. Aren't you? Aren't you? You can go irritate Daddy. Okay, go irritate Daddy. He's a sweet boy, but he's so good at his irritation job. Okay, this is vivid lime green. I bought this for abstract work. I don't use a lot of tube green. Like I have phthalo green, but really just for mixing. I don't like phthalo green on its own. And this one, aside from the couple of times that I've just messed with it, I've never really used it. So it's my 1 inch, wet it in the jar. just start spreading that around. I kind of feel like this is just my suggestion. You guys are running the show, so you can say no. I kind of feel like if we're going to do a bright green underpainting, that everything on top should either be like bright orange or like black and bright purple. Ooh, what do you think? Should we do like primarily black and purple on top of the green? Ah, see, Deb, acid green and purple. Nice, nice. Acid green is a good color to go through a phase on. And this green, I know it looks super acidic here, but it's really not. Like, I'm looking at it on my computer, and the green is much more of a cool acidic green than it is here. It's just kind of like I don't know. This looks like an Easter color to me. It's not one of my favorites, but I think it'll be fun for an underpainting for our Halloween painting. Orange, black, and purple. Yeah, we could throw them all in there. I don't know what witch shoes look like. Yeah. Yellow with a little bit of phthalo green. You'll get a nice acidic green that way too. Man, this is like sliding all over the place, guys. I'm just not a flat painter. It's really hard for me to paint flat, and my canvas tries to escape. Okay, there we go. Pointed boots with a curl. I'll look on my phone. See if I can find something along those lines. No, Deb, it's really not. It's not the same color as this. Like I said, this looks much more acidic and awesome on the screen than it really is. It's almost kind of muted in person. And my phone is ringing. Why is my phone ringing? If anybody knows what my ringtone is. Does anybody know that song? Stop ringing. Stop. Okay, let me mute that. Mute the phone. Yeah, the phthalo mixture is much nicer. All right, that needs to... Atra knows what it is. What is it, Atra? Let me look at witch shoes while you talk about that. Ooh, black and white stockings. Natalie's talking my language. Was I gone for a minute, guys? Sorry. Yes, Atra, it is. But actually, that song was written in like the 60s. It's an old song. I didn't realize that. But yeah, it's the the opening song in What We Do in the Shadows. Okay, let's see. Which... shoes. What We Do in the Shadows. It's one of my very favorite movies. If you guys have never seen that, you should see that. Okay, so if you search witch shoes on Pixabay, you get nothing. So let's just search witch. Let's see. Oh. Can't really see him there. That looks like an elf, not a witch. It's a good thing we have to let this dry for a minute anyway, huh? I'm not trying to be boring, you guys. Well, hello, Eileen. Striped stockings are a must. Are we doing black and white, or I'm kind of feeling like they should be maybe orange and purple? What do we think? But then I have to paint 2 shoes, huh? Oh man, if you search witch shoes on just Google, there's some really horrific looking shoes on here. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, I think I have an idea. Guys, I don't know if I can do 2 shoes though, because I know a way around it. Because I'm not real good at symmetry because I don't care. And so, like, if I tried to do 2 shoes side by side that were supposed to be symmetrical, they wouldn't be. And you guys would be like, she has a club foot and like a huge foot, or like a shriveled foot. So, yeah, I don't know that I could do 2 of the same shoes because I'm lame. Let's see. How dry is this? That's still wet. Should I just show you what we're doing next week? Okay. So, like I said, I just had kind of a stressful week, and you know, I was pretty convinced we weren't going to have a video next week too, and then just kind of flinging some paint around without really thinking about anything. That's a lot of times how I come up with something. So I came up with something. So here's the little thing I came up with. So here we go. Ooh, this is the haunted house that started out based on what you guys said last Sunday, but it evolved into something else entirely. But I swear I did start it as your haunted house. So I want you guys to guess how many different colors did I use in this painting. Give me some numbers. How many colors do you think are used in this painting? But this isn't the one that's on the video. So we're not doing a little canvas next week. 3. Couple votes for 3. 3 votes for 3. Lots of votes for 3. Here's the actual one. So this is the full-size painting. Ooh. So I recorded it today, and I'm almost halfway done filming or editing. So yeah, I'll get something posted to Patreon today or tomorrow with the image for you guys. 4, 2. It has 8 colors in it. There are 8 colors in this painting. So, first of all, the underpainting, can you see yeah, you can see the underpainting right there. The underpainting has 2 different, it's made of 2 different purples. So I used Diox and Deep Violet for the underpainting. And then it has, okay, so Diox and Deep Violet. Then it has Phthalo Blue, Ultramarine Blue, Yellow Oxide, Burnt Umber, Black, and White. 8 colors. I didn't use Payne's Gray. And the reason I didn't use Payne's Gray is because ultramarine and burnt umber are ever so slightly more opaque than Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is very, very transparent. And I needed something that was going to be just slightly more opaque. So I went with the ultramarine and burnt umber. Yeah, I'm excited. I had a lot of fun with it. And I actually did start it out as your haunted house suggestions, like it was going to be like a close-up of the door or the porch. And so the whole canvas was really going to be the house alone. And then, you know, just little things evolved and changed, and pretty soon that's what we ended up with. So, yay! Okay, let's see if it's still tacky. That's okay. We can deal with that, can't we? You guys are going to get to see how bad I am at at drawing like people's parts, like yeah. What? Don't have an anxiety attack. There's no such thing as too many colors. There are just as many colors as you need. All right, let's get started. Amy sees some scribbling. Actually, not much this week. There's really not much scribbling this week, Amy. I'm going to use Diox. I'm going for a Diox. Look what I bought, a giant tube of, finally, of my cadmium yellow medium in this giant tube, because I go through so much of it. That has really become my go-to color lately. I just love that color, especially since I don't use tube greens. That one usually ends up being the yellow that I use. But if you guys are looking for yellow or green that isn't quite like this kind of green, like if you want a nice landscape green, the green that I used in this painting, that's my new favorite green mixture, I think. Of course, Diox is on the bottom. Okay. Nope, that's not it. I feel like I've never done my job before, you guys. I feel like I'm so out of practice and so bad at it right now. It's only been a week since I talked to you, but when I went to record my video this morning, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. How do I record a video? And then I started editing, and I looked at my editing program. I'm like, what button do I even click? It's only been 1 week. So Audra has her own vision of what this painting should look like. Of course you do. And you should. All right, so I have some Diox. And now, guys, a lot of times, and I think I've said it before, but a lot of times when I am doing videos, I will like sketch or draw with chalk or a pencil or something, because I know that there's a lot of people who, even if I say, if this doesn't work for you, don't do it, they do it anyway because I do it. So I try to be aware of that. And I know that a lot of people aren't comfortable just going with paint and going, oh, let's sketch this and see what happens. But typically this is how I will sketch something, is with paint. Just go right to it and see what happens. So this is going to be I'm really scared, you guys. All right, let's start by saying where her legs are going to be. We'll say that's going to be a leg. And she's going to be very stiff-legged. I'm sure it's me that's buffering. So it's something about my internet connection, or it's YouTube or something. So it's not you guys. Okay. let's just give her a little bit of a shin. Now, there are things that I know that I understand, but like putting them into practice, not so much. When drawing legs, there's a thing you need to think about. Let's pretend this is all going to get painted over anyway. Let's pretend that, well, I'll do it here. If we're doing a leg, here's the center line. Here's, you know, where our leg is going to be. Here's our knee, let's say. Keep in mind that when you do a leg, the front of the shin is straight. The back of the leg is curved. Likewise, up at the top by the thigh, the top is curved. The back is straight. Nobody's leg is shaped like that. Just to give you an idea. It's curved at the top, straight below the knee. Straight at the top, curved below the knee. Okay? Now I know that. Do you think I'm going to make this look decent doing that? No, probably not. So we're just going to sketch that down to where her ankle's going to start. Got the back of her leg here. A little bit of a curve. She's got some chicken legs going on. Let's give her a little bit more of a feisty calf up here. Oh, guys, this is going to be bad. Other shin. And now she's like standing with her toes turned out. What is happening? Already, this lady is ugly. I don't like her. Just pretend like I didn't just do that, okay? Don't say cool, Gretchen. It's not. All right, let's sketch out her shoe. I think let's give her a shoe rather than a boot. What do you say? We'll give her like a... down the back there, right under her leg, so that's a continuation. That's where the heel goes. We'll kind of give it a little flare. I used to have some boots that kind of, they didn't look like witch boots, but the heel kind of flared like that. I have no idea what it looks like under here, so this is probably going to look crazy. That's all right. Little flat spot there. And let's, oh, there we go. Kind of make it like rumpled. Yeah. It's getting there. Her legs look stupid, but I can change all that. So I'm okay with it for now. All right, this one. That's going to be a stocking foot. So she doesn't have, and now that leg is longer than the other one because I didn't take that into consideration. I think that's okay. I think if I pull that in a little at the top and pull out the bulky part of her leg, I think that will make it seem man, she's weird. Hello, Donna. You came in at just the weirdest part of the whole show. All right. I don't know why I just washed off my brush. Sometimes when I'm thinking, I'm not thinking, and I wash off my brush. Let's put some stripes on her socks because I'm comfortable with that part. When doing something like this, like a leg, remember these stripes would not go straight across because her leg is curved, okay? So it's going to have a little bit of a curve. Just a little bit. let's do these stripes like all like weird. I'm not going to try and make them all the same width, because so I've told you guys right before about play to your weaknesses. If you know that you don't do something well, then she's got a little ankle bone there. If you know you don't do something well, then don't do it. So what I mean is, I know that I don't do symmetry well. There's nothing wrong with that. I just know that I don't. So I didn't do symmetry. I gave her 2 different shoes. Also, I don't like stiff, very mathematical lines in painting. So I intentionally broke them up into crazy. They're all totally different. And now I'm going to make sure that this does not line up with the ones on the other leg at all. This is still such a chicken leg. Let's make that a really narrow one, maybe. Yeah, all right. This poor lady. Oh, you know what? Okay, somebody already said this, but, and it wasn't that I wasn't listening, I was off in my own little world, but I really hate the way the top of her legs looks, and rather than dealing with it or scrapping it, I'm going to do what somebody else suggested. Ta-da! Now I don't have to look at her ugly top of her legs. Okay, I feel much, much happier with her now. Let's start painting her in. I'm going to get some black. And I'm going to get a little bit more Diox. And be really like fun. Like when you're doing fabrics like this, be really fun and flirty with it. So see how I kind of came from here and out a little bit, and then up. It goes up, down, back up. So it's completely asymmetrical. It's just kind of a fun little flirty shape. You know, don't like a triangle. You can if you want. It's just not going to be as interesting, I think. All right, I'm going to go to my 1/2 inch flat. This one. And I'm going to get some black. I'm going to get some purple. And let's just start filling in her skirt. I have an idea for her skirt. I'm not going to leave it just solid black like that. Also, right now anyway, I'm not going to give it a solid line at the bottom. Just a little softer. So guys, tell me something awesome about your week. What did you do this week? What awesome things happened to you this week? What was good in your life this week? I want to hear about it. Yay! Just kind of a flippy little dress. Natalie, that's so funny. I didn't even see your comment about the stringy and tattered looking skirt until I painted that already. And I think I'm going to do it more, but I know I'm going to paint the background and I'm going to paint her legs, so I would lose a lot of that. But yeah, I think I do want to do that. Yeah, like a tutu. Like I'm totally picturing it being made out of, what do they call that stuff? The tutu material. Oh, Ultra Finish, the large canvas. I can't wait to see it. The rainy window painting that you were afraid to do. I'm so proud of you. I want to do orange. Let's do orange and purple stripes on her legs. What do you guys say? Let's do deep violet. There's a little orange in there. I also got a big, huge tube of orange because you guys know how I like that orange. Let's do orange and deep violet for the stripes on her legs. Tulle, that's right, tulle. Ooh, Deb got oil pastels. Nice. Okay, get this one open. There we go. Some orange. I'm just going to paint in the base for these right now. The highlights and shadows can come later. And actually, I think I'm going to mix that deep violet with a little bit of Diox because I think with the green and the orange, I think the deep violet is going to look kind of pink. Okay, let's start with some orange. And we'll start up here. It's pulling a little bit of that black in, and that's okay. Have you guys all switched over to the cadmiums or the heavy body in the cadmiums? Which orange is it? It's cadmium orange. The only orange worth putting in a tube. Well, okay, I guess that's not true. There is that like quinacridone burnt orange, which I have. I bought that one, Deb, but I haven't. I messed with it a little bit just to see what it did and how it mixed with a couple of colors, but I haven't used it in a painting yet. Sometimes I'm really hesitant to use new colors because then, you know, so many people are like, what can I use if I don't have that? So sometimes it's just easier to mix colors that I know everybody has rather than making everybody feel like they have to go out and buy a whole bunch of new colors. Oh, Donna has had nice fall weather. Natalie's got the heavy body cads. Good, good. Your store doesn't carry the cadmium orange heavy body? That's unfortunate. Just going to take that, let it overlap the skirt a little bit. Partly because I like the way it's pulling that purple and black into the orange, kind of crudding it up a little bit. I like that. But also because I haven't finished with the skirt, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather not have a hard line to contend with later. Be thinking about what color we should do the background. Maybe gray. Maybe like a stone, like a dirty kind of gray. The heavy body is better for the cadmiums because the colors are completely different. The cadmium orange in basics, it's so ugly. And it doesn't mix well with anything. But also, mostly, they are, in basics, so ultra transparent. And in heavy body, they are so ultra opaque. Like, we've all taken yellow and thought, oh, I'm going to paint yellow on this one thing. And then gone, oh, nope, I guess not, because yellow won't cover anything. The heavy body, cadmium yellow, will cover anything. So, yeah. A lot of people ask, you know, what I can't afford all of the heavy bodies. What paints should I get? You know, what are the essentials in heavy body? The cadmiums. Like, I hear a lot of people say upgrade your black and white first, but I don't really see enough difference in the black and white to justify the cost, especially since I go through so much of it. So I still use the basics black and white. But with pretty much everything else, I'm on heavy body. But the only ones I tell you you really have to upgrade to heavy body are the cadmiums. Really should. And we'll give that a little orange nub there. You can hear Mr. Moon screaming in the kitchen. We've decided, well, we've figured out that the reason that Mr. Moon screams so much is because he wants to go outside and we don't let him. Deb, I've never actually used that one. I don't even know how to say it, so I'm not going to. But, you know, it could be as simple as it's transparent where this one's opaque. So that's like, you know, we have Naphthol Crimson and Cad Red Medium. They really look the same. And in basics, there's really not a huge difference. But in heavy body, the Cad Red Medium is opaque, the Naphthol is transparent. So sometimes you want a color that's transparent, sometimes you want a color that's opaque. So that's like why I said that in next week's painting, I decided to use the Ultramarine Burnt Umber mixture rather than Payne's Gray, because it's a little bit more opaque, but sometimes I like the transparency or the translucency of the Payne's Gray, so that's what I choose. Everything has its purpose, and once in a great while I will still use my basics cadmium colors because I want the transparency. Let me see if I've got any questions. Deb, have you mixed that burnt orange with purple? With any purple? Magic. That's like my test. I have a new color. Let's see what happens when I mix it with purple. Yeah, no, Deb, you can't. That orange will never mix with Diox purple nicely. It's horrible. Okay, let's do the other stripes. I'm going to get just a little bit of Diox and some deep violet. This is going to be pretty transparent, but I'll put some white over it later. Keep my lines straight. I'm not worried about blurring the line between the purple and the orange if they mix a little bit. You know, some people are super freaked out about mixing colors like purple and orange. In fact, one of my best friends, whenever I do a painting where it's obvious that I've mixed purple and orange together, she sends me a text message. She's like, hey, I really like your new painting, all except for that disgusting purple and orange business. She gets so upset when I mix purple and orange or purple and yellow. So when I did Golden Hour, she said, I really love that painting, but I know you did that on purpose. And I had to tell her, oh yeah, I mixed purple with orange and yellow and even green. And she's all, you're disgusting. But I love, if I can mix purple with an unexpected color, I'm going to do it because fabulous things happen. And it's the same thing with orange. I think that's why I always have purple and orange on hand. You know, I don't buy a whole lot of secondary colors. I don't buy green, except for a little bit of phthalo to mix, and then this one green in a moment of weakness. When I was just positive I had to have it for my abstract painting. But purple and orange. Gotta have purple and orange. Does that just look black to you guys right now? I feel like the last time we did this, it was so, I had so much glare on the screen. I felt so bad. And now I feel like it's too dark. All right. Ooh, a gorgeous deep red. Let's see. I did that recently too. I was like, ooh, I bet these colors are going to be gross together. I can't wait to mix it. And it came out with this gorgeous ruby color instead. And I was like, that's disappointing. What was it that I mixed? It was just recently. God, I can't remember what it was. It was not what I expected, though. Let's let that dry for a minute. I'm glad you guys are liking her. She's a little goofy. It might have been Cat Orange and Diox Purple. No, it wasn't. I don't know. Audra, like you ever need excuses to buy more paint? Just buy the paint. Did we decide on the background color yet? I remember it is dark. Okay, let's see. Whoa, and now we've got some glare. That's a bit bright. There, is that better? She is cute. She's not as horrible as I was worried. I was a little worried when you guys said witch's shoes. I was like, of course they would pick a witch shoe, but I'm like, I don't even know. There's no way I can do that. But see, it's good to step out of your comfort zone sometimes. Give her sock a little bit of a bump there. I like that better. Granite. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, I have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. Because I ain't scared. Let's get some Payne's Gray, nice and transparent, so that green will really glow through it. And I have a color in here that I bought a long time ago, and I have never used it. Never used it. Except to, I think one time I like put it on a piece of paper to look and see what the color was like. So this is a heavy body color called Parchment. So similar-ish to unbleached titanium, except where unbleached titanium is a very warm color. So that's unbleached. This color is a little bit on the green side. It's a little bit of a cooler color. Can you tell the difference there? So it doesn't look as green in the video, but it's got a slight green tint to it. So let's try this Parchment and see what happens. If we like it, maybe we'll use it more often. You know, like at all, because I've never used it. And then one more color that I told you that I don't ever use, but I have it. Let's use that one too. Where is it? Oh, come on. Like, you guys want to sit here and watch me search for paint all day. Yeah, let's try that Parchment and see what happens. I'm excited. I think Eileen already has two of all of the paints. Just buy the paint. Everybody, just buy the paint. What color is her shoe? I don't know, Pat. I haven't thought about it yet. You guys help me think about that. I'm kind of leaning towards like black purple because I'm unimaginative, but I am open to suggestions. That, my friends, is phthalo green. Never use phthalo green. No, Larry, Let her buy all of the paint. 2 of every color. Parchment. Oh, I like parchment. That's too hot. Whoa. Parchment kind of looks like, I don't know, something that makes me happy. Yeah, I have never claimed to be anything other than the complete mess that I am. I am an absolute mess. Okay, so I have parchment, Payne's Gray, and what is that color? Phthalo Green. I'm going to work in very small amounts of paint so that I can almost dry brush it. Ooh, look at Payne's Gray with that parchment. That's a happy color. I like that color. I just want to look at that color. Looks like beach sand. All right, let's pull a little bit of, oh, I don't like phthalo green. I'm using the wrong brush. That's my good 1/2 inch flat. I got to use my cruddy one so that when I scrub with it, I won't ruin it. And it will just be messy and go like that. I really don't like phthalo green. I used to really be a phthalo greener. Used it all the time, but I don't like it anymore. So all of these colors except the parchment are pretty transparent, and I'm using my paint quite thin. My brush is a little on the wetter side. So a lot of that green is still glowing through. The only place I'm really going to take care is on her legs right there. Other than that, it's totally okay if it goes up in there. Ew, she has a dent in her leg right there. That's gross. That kind of gives me goosebumps. Nobody should have a dent in their shin. I bet, Sylvie. So I'm assuming you have a painting like that, and I would love to see. I would love to see that. I bet that the contrast between those 3 is so subtle, but just enough to, you know, enough that it shows, but not enough that it's, you know, overly obvious. I'm just going to cut around these little bits. And, all right, now we're reconnected. Never know. You might end up going, oh, I actually really like that. I'm glad I just went with it. We'll give her a little bit of an arch there. Let's see. We'll bring her foot up just a little bit there. She was too flat. Oh, there we go. She was too flat-footed. Your teeth on this brush? Oh yeah, you guys, 1 year ago today, we were enjoying our retreat. That was a good time. It was a lot of work, but it ended up being worth it. And I loved meeting everybody who got to come. When it was over, I was so glad it was over because I was exhausted. But at the same time, I was sad that it was over. Well, hello, Janice. Welcome. I'm glad you could make it. Atra, I think you know better than to start talking like that. I love that I gave this witch like this big, huge, distorted heel. Like, if your heel looks like that, please go to the doctor. Please, don't walk around on that. That doesn't look very comfortable. But on our witch, love it. All right, so already, I think if I were to do this again, I would do the background totally different. I don't know how I would do it, but I feel like this color idea I had was not, it kind of threw everything off. Oh, let's bring that up. Oh yeah, that's gross. Also, if your foot looks like this, please go to the doctor. Don't wear shoes that make your foot do that, okay? Because that would hurt. If you did it behind my back, is that okay? No. No, no, no. Seriously, it was like, it consumed my entire year. That was all I thought about. All I did for an entire year was, you know, prepare for that and think about that. And, oh, I mean, Audra knows. I'm preaching to the choir on that one, but another thing, guys, when you're doing like quirky, whimsical little things, like the witch here, I love asymmetry in that, kind of like I talked about her skirt here, how it comes out and then up and down and back up, so both of the sides are different than each other. Her shoes are too. You can't really see it here, but it comes up and then down and it swoops back up, but over here it swoops down, so they, you know, they kind of go opposite directions. I'm sure you can see that. I'm just trying to find interesting things to say because silence is awkward. I feel awkward in silence. Are you guys still talking about retreat? And I'm trying to get your minds off of retreat. Oh my gosh. Well, hello, Carrie. No. Well, yeah, we've been going for about an hour. I don't feel like we're near done, so I think you're okay. I don't know. If you guys get sick of me and start dropping off, then I suppose I'll wrap it up. But as long as you guys are here and engaged and my witch doesn't look too stupid, then I imagine I'll stay. Ooh, look at that. I just went right over her skirt there. Picked up some of that black and blended it in. I think I'm going to let this background dry. I really don't like it. I wish I would have picked different colors. Thought I'd get all crazy and throw some phthalo green in there, and I was rewarded for my efforts and reminded why I don't like phthalo green. Except to mix with, did I ever show you guys that trick? How to make the best navy blue in the entire universe. If you've never seen it, I'll show you real quick. Let me clean off my brush. Okay. Navy blue making 101. Ready? Okay. We are going to take a little bit of phthalo green. So that's all that's left. Set it right there. We're going to take a little bit of Diox purple and we're going to mix it in. Tiny bit more. Little tiny points of Diox purple mixed in it until, et voila, the perfect navy blue, which just kind of looks purple in my camera anyway, but yeah, gorgeous navy blue. Phthalo green and Diox purple. Isn't that crazy? Now you can tell people, yes, you can mix blue. This is how you mix blue. Oh, I'm sorry, Deb. I know, and you know what? The replay is probably gonna be awful too. I'm really sorry. Excuse me. Hang on, let me look at something. It says that my stream is fine, so I don't understand why it's still giving me fits. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's got to be my internet connection. I don't know what else it would be. No, it's me for sure too, because hang on, let me turn something off real quick because I can see my video in the YouTube player and it looks horrible too. I have a space heater on in here. Turn it off. Who knows? Maybe that's messing up my internet. But I keep looking over at myself and I'm like a pixelated zombie too. So it's not just that. Pat likes the lime green shoe. It's kind of wacky, isn't it? It might not be horrible. We'll see. I really hate the color on that background. Blech. Let's... Tell me what else you guys think. What else? What else? I am kind of liking the lime green shoe too. I think I put out too much of my cad orange. Let me put some of it back so I don't waste it. Do you guys know how to put paint back in a tube? This is how we put paint back in a tube, just in case you don't know. Okay, so my tube is squeezed. See that? Like toothpaste, how I've got it all squeezed at the bottom up to here. So I'll squeeze it until my paint is right at the top. And then I'll come over to my paint, kind of start scooping it, and at the same time, I'm going to pinch the sides. Because watch what happens when I pinch the sides. You can't really see that in there. It opens the tube up and it will suck paint back in. So stick it right there and then pinch the sides. Look at that. Whoops. There. And now my orange is back in the tube. Yay! No wasted paint. Paint it navy. Oh, I think that might clash with that ugly background. Dude, shut up. Did I just tell you something new or did I say something you didn't like, Carrie? A ruby shoe. What is that color? I like that. There is... Oh, I think I know what it is. All right, let me put my green paint back. There. Okay, let's go with ruby because I still have a ton of my deep violet out. And I'll just go ahead and put my orange back out. Can't believe you put the paint back in the tube. Happens all the time. I put some yellow back in the tube today and sucked a bunch of phthalo blue up with it. And I was like, it's all right. I don't use yellow oxide all that often. All right. Cad Orange, Deep Violet. And this will work nicely because Cad Orange is opaque. Deep Violet is transparent, so we'll get kind of a translucent color. So we want some ruby, get some orange. Now you know how to mix both blue and red. And some Deep Violet. And we get a nice ruby color. See? Red. Now I need to figure out how to mix yellow. I bet I can come up with it. Oh, I'm using my number 8 round. Sorry, I didn't tell you that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Idea, idea. Right here. Can you guys see that? Okay. Just like the back of the shoe. So she's got little flippy bits on the front and the back. I don't think that's quite ruby enough. Let's do. Oh, I know. Nope. I'm probably going to want that one too. And come on, bro, where are you? I'm going to scream. There it is. Another color I don't get a lot of opportunity to use is Flippy Bits. Not floppy bits. Flippy Bits. That's Cad Red Deep. I like Cad Red Deep. Oh, yeah, navy background instead. I could probably do that. We'll see what happens. I think this witch is going to end up being so full of non-harmonic colors. She's going to be kind of scary. That's okay. We'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, I like that better. I like the red shoe. All right, let's do our little toe flippy bit up right there. Lots of little angles and elbows like I like to do in creepy trees. If you guys can hear Olaf, it sounds like he's tap dancing through the house. That's my fault. He needs his nails cut. I'm a bad mom. I've not cut his nails in a while. And I have no excuse because he's really good about it. He loves getting his nails cut. He'll just lay there and let me do it. In fact, I cut Mr. Moon's nails. And of course I do his with more regularity because he will make me bleed if his nails get long. He scratches. And when I start cutting Mr. Moon's nails, Olaf gets super jealous and tries to get all up in our business to get his nails cut at the same time. All right. Whoa. This witch is like crazy colorful. She's super crazy colorful. I thought the shoe had a hair on it. Yeah, the colors are kind of like the Mr. Moon painting with the purple and the orange. Yeah. It does look like school chalkboard, Atra. That's probably why I don't like that color. Okay. That background is really ruining it for me. I'm unhappy and dramatic. Okay, let's see. Let's start working on our skirt. So I'm going to go back to my 1/2 inch. Wrong one. I want the one I can scrub with if I need to. I'm just going to pick up some black. Let's start filling this in so the green doesn't show. I'm not doing anything in particular. I'm just covering up wherever I can see that green. And then just almost dry brushing through there so that it's kind of tooly. So the brush pressure I'm using is like the tip of my brush. Let's see, like that. And I'm just kind of like that, scrubbing back and forth. Remember to always use a brush that you're okay dedicating to scrubbing, for scrubbing. Never scrub with a brush that you really like, that you don't want to dedicate to scrubbing. Because even scrubbing with it one time can make it a dedicated scrubbing brush. And it shortens the bristles. So let me show you. This is my scrubbing one. This is my nicer one. If I line up the top of the ferrules, look. There's like 1/8 of an inch difference in the length. And that's, that's from scrubbing with this poor brush. But it's okay, he likes it. Do a yellow background. Oh, man. You want her to be totally psychedelic, don't you, Eileen? Oh, yeah, I like that. She's tooling now. I got a little out of control on that one side. That side. It's a little out of control, I think. She's super colorful. Yeah, Pat, that's kind of what I was kind of thinking about trying to go for in the first place. Carrie, you haven't been to one of these before? I swear I've seen you at these before. I'm glad that you're here. We have a few people who have never been before. That's awesome. I'm really happy about that, you guys. This is by far my favorite part of the entire week, or of the entire month, is doing these with you guys. And I hope that someday I can do these more frequently than once a month, because I love this. If this is like all I did, I would be totally happy. But just with you guys, not like with the whole world. I think this is a pretty good start. I'm just going to kind of work on some shadows and highlights on her legs and maybe throw in some little colors into her stockings. And then I think maybe I'll work on this, you know, to try and come up with something else. A little bit of Diox purple and with that Cad Red Deep, and you get like this gorgeous, it's like the perfect red lipstick color. So that's what I'm going to use for the shadows on her shoe. Let's go a little bit more than that, a little bit more Diox. And just shadow her up down here a bit. We can't forget that there's going to be little shadows in these creases. So let's see if I can, whoops. in the little creases of the toe, we're going to have shadows. Otherwise, it just looks like she has a zigzaggy foot. Nobody likes zigzaggy feet. So, where did my plate go? Man, my brain is gone. So like right in here, little shadow color, just right there. And if it's too much, that's okay, because I'll just add a little more red over it later. Little shadow color right there. Just go for it. Just stick it somewhere, because it doesn't matter if you're like, oh no, that's horrible. Then just get a little more red and cover it up, blend it back. Olaf, don't make me yell at you while I'm working. I think I told you guys last week, he's got allergies, and so sometimes he just starts like chewing on his foot really bad, which would be fine, except then his foot bleeds. Hey, stop it. And I don't want him walking around the house with bleeding feet, because that's sad. And then he just starts right back up again. He makes me crazy, you guys. Does anybody want him? You can have him, free of charge. Just kidding, I like him. You can have Mr. Moon, though. All right, if I were working on this shoe for... Oh, Carrie, yes, please. You guys, please play with mixing colors. That's what that challenge was that I made in the group. What was that, 2 months ago, where I said, mix the ugliest color you can. I want you to pick 2 colors that you think, these colors are going to be disgusting together. This is going to make the ugliest color combination ever. And then use them. Do it. There's nothing more exciting and satisfying and educational, really, than just doing it. Never be afraid to mix colors. I mean, it can be scary to mix colors while you're doing a painting. You're like, I have a very specific color in my head, and I don't know how to do that. So that can be, you know, that can be scary. But that's why I just don't have ideas like that. I'm like, green and not a nice green. So let's try this. Like I did on the background here. That's how I paint in real life. I'm like, I don't know. We'll try that. Because if I don't like it, then I'll just do it again and I'll use a different color. Sorry, I'm doing Cad Red Deep mixed with some orange. And opposite to what I just did on the shadow, I'm going to take a little bit of this color. And just kind of put it where I feel like her shoe would be taking some light. And again, if it's too intense or if I get it in a place I don't like it, just put the Cad Red Deep back over it. The reason I always tell you guys, oh, it's okay, I'm not worried about it, is because there's nothing to worry about. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I was a little nervous at first because I'm not the strongest drawer. I don't draw real well, and I know that, and I don't really care because drawing isn't, you know, what I want to do with my life. But as far as like painting and mixing, man, just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Seriously, the worst thing that can happen is you're going to end up with a painting you don't like. Has that ever happened to you before? Me too. And I survived. I lived. I'm going to go a little bit more orange. I'm really digging this. Oh yeah, I'm digging this shoe. I kind of wish she didn't have orange stockings on right now so that shoe would pop. Maybe she needs green. No, then it would look like Christmas, huh? We don't want to do Christmas yet. I kind of like her. I kind of want to mess with the colors, try and come up with kind of a cohesive color palette. Should we make it look like patent leather? I'm going to try something. I've never done this before, but I'm going to do it. Wash off my brush. And oh, I don't even have white on my plate. I thought I had some white. Yeah, black and white stockings. Why didn't I think of that? Thank you, Stacy. That was a good point. Black and white. Come on, paint. Okay, I don't need that much white, dude. All right, a little bit of white. And where I think her shoe is the brightest, we'll just kind of... Oh, that kind of looks cruddy, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. That looks horrible. I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. Because if I really hate it, what am I going to do? I'm just going to let it dry and paint over it. With the red, I'll put the red back. Yeah, that kind of looks junky. It looked okay until I did that bit. I don't like that. Oh, good. I'm so proud of you, Amy. Good, good, good. Yeah, black and white stockings is what we'll go with, but I am really kind of loving this shoe. I don't hate her stocking foot either. It's kind of cute. Her stockings and stuff definitely need more like color variation, shadows and highlights. I do want to kind of play with her skirt just a little bit. Get some... I love that shoe. It does not go with the orange and purple, but I really love that shoe. Is her skirt dry? It's getting there. I'm going to go with my scrubby 1/2 inch. And I'm going to get some white. I'm going to mix it with some purple. Very loosely. Kind of scrub it in here, and I am going to take my lesson from my countertops and apply that to Miss Thing's skirt. Anybody see my countertop post in the forum? So if you don't remember that, a long time ago, before I really was painting seriously, I was painting a little bit, long before I was making videos. We lived in this house that had blue countertops, and I'm talking it wasn't far off from this color. More blue than this green, but close enough. It was horrible, and I hated it. We lived in that house for 13 years, and I never did anything about those horrible blue countertops, of course, until we were ready to move. So when we moved, I decided nobody's going to buy this house with these ugly blue countertops. So I'm going to paint them, because if I mess it up with the paint, then I just have to buy new countertops anyway. So I might as well. So I took 3 colors, and I do really just go for it. Because that's all there is to do. So I bought 3 colors for my countertops. I bought a dark gray that was almost black, a light gray that was almost white, and a mid-tone gray. So I prepped my countertops and I painted a mid-tone gray, and it just looked flat, just boring gray. So I took a grocery sack and I like bunched it up. Talk about just going for it, Carrie. And I like dipped it in the white, the really light gray. And I started blotting it like a sponge all over the countertops, and it looked so bad. It was the worst thing in the universe. And I was like, oh, this is so horrible. But I kept going with it because I had already messed it up, right? So then I did the same thing with the grocery sack. I dipped it in the black, the super dark gray, and I blotted it over top of that. So I could see all 3 of the colors, and it just kept looking worse and worse and worse. It was like polka dot stippling yucky. So finally, in a last-ditch effort to not just call the department store and say, okay, come install new countertops. I took the mid-tone gray that I started with and I stamped it, and I stamped it all over the countertops, and they looked amazing. I loved them, and I would do that again. I would do it again right now. But I always think about that because that lesson applies to so many things. So I like the purple in here, but it looks like it's sitting on top of the black. So I'm going to take my lesson from my countertop. I'm going to take a little more black, which was the base color, and I'm going to do the same thing again over top of it. Not to cover all of it, just to kind of kick it back and kind of pull everything together. So the purple looks like it's part of the skirt and not just sitting on top of the skirt. So that's what that whole long rant about my ugly countertops was about. I know not everybody can get into the Jams Facebook page for some reason, or the website. But there are pictures in there if you can get into it. See, just that tiny bit of black, and now that purple looks like it's part of the skirt. Yeah, I like the purple in the skirt too. I think that'll work with the black and white stockings. Deb looks at this and all she can think of is her Aunt Clara. I don't know what that means, but okay. If you meant it in a good way, then I take it as such. Good, Deb. Deb learned from my countertop story. That makes me happy. But I really think about those countertops all the time. So much. Okay, here are the things that I really like about this painting. Number one, the thing that I love about this painting is that red shoe. Love the red shoe. Except for what I accidentally did with the white. Love the red shoe. Her foot looks a little dumb right there, but that's okay. I like the skirt. It's kind of tooly and fun. I would like the stockings better if I would have done black and white in the first place, which I will probably most definitely do black and white next. I don't know what to do with the background, you guys. I'm worried that if I go green, like the lime green, it's going to look like a Christmas painting. Clearly, I want to stay away from that for now. If we do the purple in the skirt and the red in the shoe, orange is going to be too much. Probably just like black and gray, like the granite look that we were supposed to be going for in the first place. How about that? And then, I don't know. Yeah, I could probably, especially if I grade the navy down. So my concern with background being a bright color, particularly in this painting where I have other bright colors, is it will conflict with the foreground elements, like the red shoe, too much. It'll vie for attention too much. So I can do the blue, but I will need to gray it down a little bit. But that's an idea. So maybe the navy with just a hint of black and white to make it a tone. I really like that shoe. A lot. So, what do you guys like? Yeah, I think I would need to change the background. I don't know. I'm not happy with the color of the background. I think it's okay, except for the green showing through. If it were a little more on the neutral gray side, I think I would be happy with the background. I just put too much green in it for a green showing underneath. I don't know why I was like, hey, let's double green the background. That's going to be a rock star idea. you feel like the background should be lighter. I'm kind of thinking of like a variegated background, not variegated, like a gradient background. So her skirt is very dark. I feel like if the background is too light, that's going to kind of take away from the Halloween feel. But if it's too dark, her skirt's going to blend in with it. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm going to do dark at the bottom, like dark, close to black at the bottom, and then fade it up. And it can be, you know, a really light gray toward the top here, so kind of faded. The Zen tree. I don't even know what the Zen tree was. Is that bad? I have no idea what my own paintings are. A mottled burnt umber, black and white. I have no idea what the Zen tree is. The Payne's Gray and Parchment Gradient. Yeah, I'm going to mess with that for sure and see. Oh, and then we have people who joined us since, and I showed you guys what we were doing for next week's video, but I didn't show them. So if you weren't here earlier when I did, oh, the Zen, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the purple tree on the cliff with the little waterfall. I don't even know what I call my own paintings. It's usually like while I'm editing, I'm all, I don't know, looks like this. And I kind of did that with this one this week too. So if you weren't here when I showed this, I want you to guess how many colors I used in this painting. And if you already know, shh. Okay. So here's what we're doing next week. How many colors do you think I used in this painting? And this green is my new favorite green. It's my favorite green. I love it. You guys will be seeing this green many, many more times. I don't know why I've never done that green before, or at least it's been a very long time since I have. Carrie says 3. Bye, Stacy. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's Deb, the video's jumping around on me really bad too. So just in case you guys can't hear me, rather than sit here and make you watch me freeze up. So I actually used 8 different colors in that painting. Yay for lots of colors and having a painting end up looking almost monochromatic. So anyway, I know it's really bad. So maybe we should go. I really like this witch, you guys, and I had a really good time painting her with you. So I think I will work her up and see if I can come up with something for her. And maybe we can do that next week. Yay! So I'm glad that you all could make it. And yeah, it's my computer, actually. It's not even my internet. So I better go because it's turning red. So I will talk to you guys soon. I will post into Patreon very soon with the image for next week's video. So bye, guys. And I know you can still hear me, but now you can't. Oh, you can still see me too. The magic is taken away, isn't it, when I do that? Okay, bye.